What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerdy Mark channel. I'm Sid the Nerdy Mark, and today I have your review of Raw and SmackDown for this week. So Raw begins with our new Universal Champion Roman Reigns making his way into the ring to a shower of boos, and then he talks about how he beat Brock Lesnar last week and that he is going to challenge someone new, proving that he wants to be a fighting champion. He finally challenges the man that won the Universal Champion and lost it 24 hours later because of an injury, the person who should have gotten his rematch from the very get-go. That's right, he's challenging Finn Balor as his first opponent. Finn Balor comes in, they shake hands, Baron Corbin comes out, says this match is not happening because I was prepared to face Finn Balor the man at SummerSlam and not the demon, so that match did not happen in my books, so I demand a rematch from you, Finn Balor. Kurt Angle comes out and he says that's not happening. Finn and Roman, your match will happen later on in the evening. It'll be the main event. And Baron Corbin, here's your opponent, and out comes Bobby Lashley. So we have a match between Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley. Okay match, nothing much to talk about here. Bobby Lashley won and pretty much disappeared for the rest of the day, so there's that. But Baron Corbin will be back later on. Backstage, we do have Kurt Angle being confronted by Paul Heyman, and he wants to discuss the terms of Brock Lesnar's rematch for the Universal title. Kurt Angle says, I have a fighting champion. There is no way he's going to get a rematch for a very, very long time. Paul Heyman says, yes, it should be in a very long time. I'm thinking Hell in a Cell. Kurt Angle says, it will be a cold day in hell before I give Brock Lesnar a rematch. Or as they say it in Brooklyn, forget about it. That was pretty cool. I like that. I'm glad that the GM is being adamant in not giving Brock Lesnar the match, so that's pretty cool. I enjoyed this little bit. Let's move on. We now have the Riot Squad taking on the team of Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon in a pretty good match. I do like it. I mean, the Riot Squad are great as a team. Ruby Riott is a good wrestler. Liv Morgan is steadily improving as a wrestler. And Sarah Logan is, the powerhouse of the group, and she's pretty awesome. So that was good stuff, but I really want to see them do something else besides the Sasha Bayley things. I understand that Sasha and Bayley are like the only other women's tag team here, but you have so many females in your roster. Just put them in a tag team. I mean, when Mickie James comes out, and when Mickie James is medically cleared, Alexa, Mickey, and Alicia Fox, there's your another tag team right there. So I don't know what they're doing with this whole division, but anyway, it was a good match for all intents and purposes. Riot Squad did win. Luckily, they didn't pin Ember Moon. I believe they pinned Sasha, so that's fine. So Triple H makes his way into the ring. We haven't seen him in a while on Raw. He gets a lot of NXT chants, which is always great. I'm still yet to watch TakeOver Brooklyn 4. I promise I will watch it, and I will do a review. I will do a live Instagram review on it. Either this Saturday or Sunday, depending. So Triple H does make his way into the ring, and he addresses his match against The Undertaker at WWE Super Showdown in October. It's going to be in Melbourne, Australia. So he addresses that. He first says that he didn't want to wrestle The Undertaker, and then because the era is coming back, he wants to wrestle him again. So even though he said he doesn't want to sound like a grizzled veteran, he kind of did come off as that, but I don't know. I mean, Triple H cut a good promo. I just didn't really care about it. And I don't care about this whole event either, because this is just like the Greatest Royal Rumble. It's just another glorified house show in my book. So now we have Dean Ambrose in his first match since last year, and he takes on Dolph Ziggler, the former Intercontinental Champion, in an amazing, amazing match. Dean Ambrose being a lot more serious in the ring this time. Instead of doing his loony parlor tricks in the ring, he actually is focused. He's actually, beating the living crap out of Dolph Ziggler. Rollins and McIntyre do get into it on the outside. Rollins getting in the ring just to go and hit a suicide dive onto Drew McIntyre. Dolph Ziggler tries to hit the zigzag, but Ambrose does convert it into kind of like a pop-up dirty deeds kind of a thing. He kind of lifted Ziggler up in the air and then brought him back down and hit the dirty deeds to win the match. Really good. Good to see Ambrose in action once again. He has not missed a step. So in my SummerSlam review, I neglected to mention that Elias did try to perform there, but of course someone had sabotaged his guitar. I wonder who that is. It's probably the same person who threw that pie at Kevin Owens. He tries to do it again. Curt Hawkins interrupts. He challenges Elias to a match, saying that he wants to beat Elias to end his 218 losing streak. And of course that doesn't happen. Elias does put away Curt Hawkins after a pretty decently competitive match. Didn't know what the whole point of this was. I hope this is not a feud between the two, but it is good to see Curt Hawkins on WWE television once again. Good to see that he's still around, but I mean, I think we need to give him a different gimmick because this is getting kind of old. We now get to a match that I've really been wanting for a very long time. AOP taking on Titus Worldwide for the umpteenth time. Why are we continuing this feud? I hope this is the last match in their feud because AOP have pretty much been dominant throughout the entirety of this storyline. Interesting note though, backstage we did have Apollo and Dana getting a little familiar with each other, and I guess this is leading to a Titus Worldwide split. I guess that's fine because, well, they've not really been doing much except losing to AOP. So can we put that, have them do something a little different? And AOP, for God's sake, put them in the tag title pictures, for crying out loud. Seriously, I'm getting sick and tired of the AOP being underlooked. So it's time for Ronda Rousey's coronation as the new Raw Women's Champion, and Stephanie McMahon comes out because of course she does, and she basically tries to take credit for everything that Ronda is because Ronda is the new Raw Women's Champion. She tries to say that, it's all because of me and I gave her the platform and I've molded her into my image. Before she can go on, Ronda interrupts, wonders what the hell Stephanie's doing in the ring. I was wondering the same thing too, Ronda. She tries to get all the women in the Raw brand to get into the ring, including the Bellas who are there for some odd reason. They come in Stephanie tries to turn all the women against them. She says, she's just going to break all of your arms. That's what she's all about. Ronda retaliates and she says, Stephanie, I don't break everyone's arm, just those who deserve it. And guess what she does? She proceeds to break Stephanie's arm because that's what she does. So because of this whole thing with Ronda Rousey, Stephanie is being tended to in the back. I mean, that happened a little later on, but I wanted to touch on it right now. She is being tended to. She has some ice on her arm. Constable Corbin is there, as is Alexa Bliss. Kurt Angle comes in. Stephanie and Corbin take turns harassing him for not doing a good job as the Raw GM for the past year and a half. So she basically sends Kurt Angle on vacation, and he is going away, and now Baron Corbin is the acting general manager. I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, on one side, it could be a pretty interesting story. On the other side, this could just be a huge disaster. It is rumored that Kurt Angle is wanting to return into the ring in a more permanent status, actually be a full-time wrestler instead of being an authority figure. So apparently that's why he's taking time off of WWE television. He'll be back October. That's what I heard. That's what I last heard, around October. So we now have the B team come out and they cut a promo on the Revival. They challenged them to back-to-back singles matches. We have Scott Dawson versus Bo Dallas. Scott Dawson beats Bo handily. After that, Dash Wilder takes on Curtis Axel, who actually talks a little bit of trash before their match. And Dash Wilder, in a bit of a more competitive match than the previous one, does beat Curtis Axel. So they lose in singles competition, but they are still the tag team champions. I pray to God that the Revival are getting the tag team titles sometime in the near future, hopefully at Hell in a Cell. It is now time for our main event. Finn Balor taking on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship in a really good match. This was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was good stuff, the traditional powerhouse versus the speedster, I guess. Good stuff. Finn Balor got cheered throughout. Roman got booed throughout because obviously it is Brooklyn, New York, so that's what they'll do. Braun Strowman came in, walking very slowly, taking his time. This distracts Roman. Finn Balor hits a missile dropkick, goes for the coup de grace, but misses. Spear, 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns retains to everyone's chagrin. Then we have Braun Strowman coming in and cashing in his Money in the Bank contract. He starts beating up Roman. The match doesn't even start, and then the Shield come out. Rollins and Dean Ambrose in full Shield attire come out, and they start helping Roman out with Braun, and Braun does kind of get a few hits in, but 3-on-1 is too much for Braun to handle, so they of course triple powerbomb him on the announcer table, fists in the middle, the Shield are back, and that's how we end Monday Night Raw. SmackDown Live did begin with an address from The Miz and The Maurice. The Miz is looking very sad, very somber. He's hugging his wife. He's crying. He officially announces his retirement from ever facing Daniel Bryan again. Miz has been studying those Alexa Bliss promos, hasn't he? So Miz does say that he's done with Daniel Bryan and he has nothing to prove to him. He can move on and whatnot. Daniel Bryan comes out, repeatedly calls The Miz a coward, and then calls him a actor cosplaying as a wrestler. Interesting insult there, Daniel Bryan. Maurice says that he should retire. So it says that Daniel Bryan should retire and that he should change his name to Brie Bella. We then hear that annoying Brie Bella music that we're all love so much. Brie comes into the ring. She punches Miz in the face, as is the theme of this entire feud. Then Daniel Bryan challenges The Miz to a mixed tag team match. Miz and Maurice versus Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. We all know how well that turned out last time. It's going to be at Hell in a Cell. Yes, yes, yes. We now have our first match of the night. Jeff Hardy finally getting his hands on Randy Orton in a pretty decent match. I did enjoy this one. Randy Orton did go for the finger in Jeff's ear thing, which continues to look very, very painful. But this time Jeff does fight back. He stomps Randy Orton in the balls. That'll teach you to shake hands, Randy. And he gets disqualified, then continues to beat the living crap out of Randy Orton. For someone who has back problems, he does quite a few swanton. He does one onto a table, and then he is carried out. And one quick presentation note, Jeff Hardy was actually laughing after he hit the swanton bomb onto Randy Orton. Does this mean we are finally seeing Willow or Brother Nero? I hope that's kind of what it leads to, because like I said, I would be excited to see Brother Nero in a singles capacity. We then had Peyton Royce taking on Naomi, two women we haven't seen in a very, very long time. Good to see that they're still employed with WWE. Corey Graves basically takes a shot at Dave Meltzer regarding his comments on Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce does win after Naomi is distracted by Billie Kay, and that's kind of it. I don't know where they're going from here. I guess this is the feud that Naomi's entering in since coming back. I don't know. Becky Lynch makes her way into the ring next, and she basically heals all over Charlotte, all over the fans, all over everything. They basically are booking Becky Lynch as a heel, even though the fans are still giving her the biggest babyface cheers that you could ever hear in your entire life. This was good stuff. I still liked her promo, even though I myself am not buying her as a heel. I still liked her promo. It was still really good. Charlotte Flair then makes her way into the ring. They both start beating each other up.
Hey, Chad.
Brings out the entire women's division. A Wild Asuka's appear. They have this whole pull-apart brawl. This was good stuff. I'm excited to see what they do with this feud going forward. Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega take on Rusev and Lana once again, and this was actually a pretty decent match. It was a little bit better than their match at SummerSlam, but I guess because this match had a little bit more time to breathe. The match did end with Aiden English finally doing the right thing and distracting Almas, allowing Rusev to hit the accolade on him, and Almas, of course, tapping out. So this was good. I wonder if everything is fine on Camp Rusev Day now, or if this is just a one-off thing, who knows. AJ Styles then joins Renee Young in the gorilla position. He explains his actions at SummerSlam, and he mentions that if Samoa Joe ever mentions his family again, he's going to, beat his ass or whatever. And then Samoa Joe cuts his interview short, puts AJ in the coquina clutch, then gets on the mic and looks at the camera and says, "Hey, Wendy." I mean, he said it much better, but he says that he was going to send her daddy home, but daddy's gone night-night. So I love the sadistic side of Samoa Joe. Just wish he wasn't targeting AJ's family because, well, we've kind of sort of seen that before, but you know, it is what it is. But AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, this feud looks still looking really good. Can't wait for their match at Hell in a Cell, which I hope, once again, is a Hell in a Cell match. So it's time for our main event, The New Day taking on the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles in a no DQ match. It's Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Big E still selling his injuries. We do have this match and it's really, really good. I did enjoy quite a bit of this. Kudos to Kofi Kingston for taking quite a few bumps in this match, and for Eric Rowan, aka Rowan, for working through an injury. So kudos to both of those guys. They are the real MVPs in this match. But it did end when Harper tried to attack Xavier Woods, but Kofi got the mallet and hit Harper, and then he put Harper on the table. Xavier Woods hit an elbow drop from like 3/4 away from the ring to win the match. And now the New Day are your new five-time, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but they're your new 5-time tag team champions. So I wonder where they go from here. Hopefully Sanity will challenge them up next. But Eric Rowan, wish you a speedy recovery and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. But that's how SmackDown Live ended. Overall, I did think that SmackDown did win once again this week. I thought it was a much better show, a much neater show, to be honest with you, and did a much better job in building some of the storylines going forward. Raw had some pretty good moments as well, but again, they couldn't really save themselves against SmackDown Live, who pretty much blew them out of the water. So let's get into some highlights, starting out with Raw. I did enjoy the Riot Squad versus Ember Moon, Sasha, and Bayley. However, we've still seen this match way too many times, so it is starting to grow a bit stale for me. So let's do something different with the women's division on Raw, please. Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. That was a fantastic match. I did like it. Baron Corbin being announced as the new general manager. Very interesting turn of events with that. I think that's a pretty bold move that they're doing, making an active member of the Raw roster as an authority figure. So that's pretty interesting. Although Kurt Angle did become SmackDown general manager for a while. Anyway, but I of course did enjoy the main event with Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. That was a really good match. And of course, the Shield reuniting once again. Moving on to SmackDown, the promo with The Miz and Maurice and Daniel Bryan. Good stuff all around. Becky Lynch's promo was really good, even though the fans still don't buy her heel turn. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, just because of that finish, was fantastic stuff. I hope to see Brother Nero in the near future. I did enjoy the main event, New Day versus Bludgeon Brothers. So that pretty much concludes my review of Raw and SmackDown for this week. Let me know what you guys thought about both shows in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media, and tell your friends about the Nerdy Mark. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Sid, signing off. You guys take care. Bye-bye.